Hello everyone, welcome to Little Lovers channel. Let's see another poem of George Herbert, The Caller. The Caller is a poem by Welsh poet. That's George Herbert, published in 1633 and is a part of collection of poems within the Herbert book entitled On the Name of the Temple. The poem depicts a man who is experiencing a loss of faith and feelings of anger over the commitment he has made to God. He feels that his efforts in committing himself to his faith have been fruitless and begins to manifest a life for himself without religious parameters. He denounces his commitments and proclaims himself free. He wants to be free. The poem contains themes surrounding a struggle with one's belief and a desire for autonomy and defense of religious restriction. The speaker is trying to create his own limits to lead himself rather than following God. He tried to convince himself that a life of freedom will bring him the satisfaction that his faith has failed to provide. So, it's a remarkable religious poems of Herbert. It deals with the mental and spiritual conflict which Herbert actually experienced in the course of his priestly vocation. Having become a priest, Herbert finds that he has sacrificed all worldly ambitions and the pleasures of life. In a rebellious mode, the poet declares that he will not tolerate this life of self-denial any longer. He doesn't want to lead a life of servitude to church and to the God, because the life of self-denial which a priest has to lead doesn't permit him to enjoy the worldly pleasures. He feels that he has achieved nothing but having served as a priest of the church. So he wants to be free like a road, irresponsible like the wind, and independent from all restraints. He feels like giving up the life of servitude to the church and to God. The poet thinks that there is still a chance for him to regain the time which he has wasted in vain. There is still time to enjoy the pleasures of the world, and he can still make up for the lost time by now enjoying the double number of pleasures. He decides to come out of the cage of religious pity and throw away all restraints. As the poet was arguing with himself and getting more and more angry, the voice of God gently rebuked him, addressing him, "Child, for these rebellious thoughts." An inner voice in his mind represented the voice of God. This voice seemed to have urged him not to give up the faith and scared duties of a priest. Hearing this gentle warning of God in his heart, the poet at once come back to his sense and realized the folly he had committed by his rebellious attitude to God. So he immediately became submissive and said, "My Lord," surrendering completely to God. The poet expressed his sorrow for going astray. In the poem, the poet describes how beautifully and dramatically he has come to a reconciliation with God after some moment of rebellious feelings against his priestly vocation. So this is the brief summary of the